Hey y'all, let's see what your crow call message is for today. Let's get started. Close the space. See what comes out for you guys today. What do you need to know? The sun. Here comes the sun. Sun is a really good card, so good things, good vibes, good energies, possible good news. Lily. What else do I need to know? Angel number 313 could be significant. Alright, ring. Are we talking about a relationship? Some form of commitment? What do I need to know? Clarify the ring. The house. And the storks. Here comes change. Positive change. I heard positive change for once. Alright, let's see what I get here first. So, I'm seeing something in regards to slow progress. Alright, slow and steady. Success will come, but success comes slowly. Alright, seeing someone that is successful later in life, that could also be significant. Alright, now when it comes to the ring in the house, this is basically like committing to a location that will be a house or some sort of sale or a rental property, like a house purchase. Okay, so right now, from what I'm seeing here, your spiritual team is basically saying success will come in regards to that purchase, that rental property, that house purchase, right? But it may come slowly. It's not going to be as fast as you want it to be. Because there's something in regards to okay, how do I say this? Here's number 303 on the clock. 303 on the clock. Um, there's something in regards to making sure that you make the right purchase or making sure that you get the right house or um, in the right location or something like that. And so there's a series of things that need to change, and it could be in regards to how you're searching or doing whatever you're doing to get this right, or it can be in regards to other things outside of you have to change in order for this to progress. Now, for those of you that let's say you're like, well, I'm not necessarily looking for a house right now, but I am looking for a rental property, right? Or I am looking to rent out my property, right? Take it how it fits here for you. Then there's a series of things that need to change before you can commit to whatever this is in terms of the household dynamic, right? Or the household situation, right? So it could either be changes in the foundation, changes in terms of remodeling, changes in terms of which rental property to choose or which home to choose before purchasing, right? There's a few changes that need to take place, or even like a change in the selection, right? I heard in the roster to be able to have success, right? So they're saying it will come slow, it will come, but it's more so a little bit more later in your life than you're expecting right now. Okay. Some of you, this is like a change of residence with the house and the storks, right? It can also be, again, like I said, another confirmation of remodeling, okay? Having to remodel. So maybe for those of you that are trying to purchase a home and you're trying to find the best fit, you may have to remodel that home when you purchase it. So you want to make sure that you calculate out finances not just for the purchase but also for like financing so that way you can remodel and bring up the price of like the worth of the property. Okay. That could be very significant in regards to that too. Okay, so let's get more information. Clarify the sun. Alright, we have the stork. Okay. Clarify the lily. Clarify the lily. Okay. The lady. Okay, and then we have the letter. Yeah, that can be you getting news in regards to this, alright? In regards to this contract that you want to sign, right? Clarify the house. So this could be a lease, again, if it's a rental, if you're the one renting, it's a lease. If you're the one that wants to rent out, then this is like an official documentation so that way you can be a landlord or let's say a real estate agent. Just take it how it fits here for you guys, okay? Clarify the house. This could also be like the deed to the house, right? Yeah. The clock tower's here. Bottom of the deck. See? The delay, right? The changes are going to come. It's going to be successful, but like there's some shortcomings here, all right, with the mountain. So let's see what else do I get here for you guys. Your spiritual team wants you to know that like you should definitely be expecting like high energy, a big shift in your energy where you're going to be more motivated, more driven, more passionate, more energetic. So high energy is here. Okay. I'm seeing positive change for you guys as well as another confirmation of success. All right. Because this lady is here, I do feel like I am speaking to a feminine energy, or I'm speaking in regards to a feminine energy that could be significant for you in your life, okay? When we're talking about this specific situation. And the woman in the lily represents someone that is patient, established, possibly retired, doesn't necessarily have to be. Definitely an older woman. So this is giving the vibe of like, okay, success for you can be in your later 20s, in your like early to mid 30s, okay? In regards to this situation, okay? That too. The other thing that I'm seeing here, we talked about the letter and the ring being like some form of document or certification or a lease or the deed to the house or home, right? The letter and the ring does represent a contract, a written agreement. For some, depending on your circumstances, it is a prenuptial agreement, so like a prenup, okay? So that being said, if you guys are married right now, or even if you are, because I believe like if you're married, you can still get a prenup at any time. Your guys are saying make sure that if you do sign a prenup for whatever reason, make sure that in that agreement, you don't sign off your rights to lose a home or lose the house, especially if you purchased that said home or house, or you invested more financially in fixing up the house, or taking care of financial responsibilities for the household. Okay, confirmation. Okay, the other thing here is, let's say like, oh well, I'm not married, or I feel like somebody has a mentality of like, I'm not signing a prenup. There's ways for you to financially be protected if you do sign a said prenup in terms of a marriage agreement, right? Just make sure that you have your own lawyer, not just a lawyer that the both of you have to write up the agreement. You want to make sure that you have your own lawyer look it up for your benefit versus the marriage's benefit or your spouse's benefit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's kind of another thing that is being said for you right now. Even if you guys are not married, this is a crow call, right? So this is a warning. This is like, hey, heads up. You should definitely be thinking about this. You should definitely be making sure that you're protecting yourself in regards to owning a property. Because once you sign that document, it is yours. It's your responsibility. It's your problem, basically. And so you want to make sure that whatever you do sign, okay, in terms of contracts and stuff like that, you want to make sure that you're well protected in regards to that, okay? Key indicators that I'm talking to you. You could be searching for a big house or a bigger house. And someone could be either searching for an apartment, either an apartment complex or an apartment building, or you're in an apartment building of some sort, okay? Versus an apartment that stands alone. You live in an apartment building, okay? Basically where all the apartments are connected together in a huge building, but all the apartments are separate, if that makes sense, okay? So there are delays, again, in regards to the changes, right? That's why there's like slow progress here for you guys. Things will be moving forward again. Things are going to be restarting, and that's that mountain and that stork energy. So something is restarting in order for you to have this slow progress, but let's get some more details on what that could be. Actually, I'm going to use this one. Can we clarify the stork and the sun? What's the stork and the sun about? The stork and the sun? Okay, the snake. Okay, so tread lightly. Don't move too quick, right? Don't move too quick. Don't take the first offer, right? Read through documentation clearly. Make sure you're going through like a legit company, all right? Yeah, make sure you get educated. Because the snake also represents like knowledge and wisdom, right? Making sure that you learn everything you need to learn in order before you get into the situation. What's the lady and the lily? The mountain. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to achieve this set goal earlier than you want to. So if you ever felt like, oh, if only I did this and this and that, so that way I can keep that property, or I can keep that home or the house. I don't think it was ever really meant for you. Okay. When something's not meant for you, it usually crumbles. All right. With or without your assistance. All right. The letter and the ring, please. Yeah. I feel like there were some contracts that you could have signed previously that just never really went your way. Always had some sort of like a drama attached to it, or chaotic energy, chaotic people involved, or I'm also hearing misleading. Um, Clarify the clock tower and the house. The clock tower is a divine timing card that talks about, like, it's not just a regular tower. It was the tower that was meant to be at that right specific time for you. All right. We have the lilies, and then we have the bears, and then the mountain is right here. Okay. So yeah, that mountain theme is definitely coming up. Let me see what else I see here for you guys. So I do see that there have been some changes. Okay, there's been some changes specifically for you. See, I'm seeing change for a woman. There was some changes for this woman. All right, and I'm seeing like a detour. Okay, so this set goal was detoured for you for a reason. You face some sort of difficult change as well. The other thing that I'm seeing here is that even though there could have been problems, the problems that occurred like were like costly. Okay, so this detour could have been because of financial reasons. All right, something was not affordable. Um, Prices probably went up too high. Interest rates probably went up. Inflation could have affected you. Um, just financial, just financial setbacks or delays could have affected you in a certain way. Okay, um, but regardless, you're still coming out as a successful woman in this situation. So don't let that discourage you, right? Because I do feel like that has impacted like your confidence and you trusting your intuition and the way you're moving, right, and the way you're taking action deliberately, right. Don't let that set you back. All right. The other thing that I'm seeing here, there could have been like this could have been like a time frame of like the winter. All right. So from like the summer to the winter could be significant in terms of like financial setbacks and things of that nature. There could have been like some sort of delay in regards to this set goal. Okay. I am definitely talking about like somebody that could have been like isolating themselves as well. Um, I'm definitely seeing like a stressed woman, and maybe like someone that has then turned cold because of the circumstances that they have experienced for this set goal. Okay, now I want to get deeper into like this whole situation with like the contracts and stuff like that. I will say that you could have signed, this is definitely like you signed some sort of contract. When you signed that said contract, um, you then faced some form of abuse. Okay, now bear with me, not all abuse is domestic violence abuse, right? And not all abuse is physical abuse, right? Um, so someone could have taken advantage of the fact that you did sign some sort of documentation or contract, lease, deed, uh, something to do with the home. Okay, put it like that. Something to do with the home, right? And it really kind of caused a lot of issues for you. Okay, that's another thing that I'm seeing here. It was basically like it was a form of a threat for you, and this was a really valuable lesson for you to learn, um, so that way you wouldn't make this mistake again later on in life. Okay, so I feel like this was a part of the detour here, um, that could have really kind of set you back majorly. All right. The other thing I'm seeing here is the flowers. You are, how do I say this? You are someone, again, they keep saying successful. I'm also hearing high society. Um, you should not be looking for a home in somewhere that's not a gated community. There we go. As I'm saying it in a nice way. You should not be looking for a home. There's a lot of activity out there with nature. You have the birds calling. You have the chipmunks out there. Like all the creatures are out. Oh my goodness. Um, you hear them? So definitely supposed to be closer to nature. Okay. You should be able to like open up your window and just listen to nature. Okay. That doesn't mean that you're supposed to be like in the middle of nowhere. But definitely somewhere that's closer to nature, to water, to like a river or mountains or lots of trees, like something of that nature. Okay. Again, going back to high society, right? Um, you're 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 destined to be successful. All right. And so therefore, where you're going to live is going to resemble that success. Does that make sense? Right. Um, and then we have angel number 199 could be significant. All right. Two. Angel number 11 is significant. 119 could be significant. But the delays in your career is what is delaying this success for you in this circumstance and situation, right? Let's see what else I can get for you guys before we wrap up. Angel number 2222, yeah. The decisions that you made before kind of affected the level of success for you. Angel number 177, all right? Clarify the snake. Clarify the snake, please. Clarify the snake. The rider. So you're going to get some sort of information, some sort of notice. All right, angel number 171. Clarify the mountain. The stars. So that's good. Clarify the rods. The snake came out twice, okay? So the snake and the mountain came out twice. So yeah, I don't know, whatever you signed. Okay, hold on. It just fell. Alright, we have the crossroads, and then we have the locket, which in this deck is the heart. Let's see what I get for you here. I did say you were going to get some sort of information, a notice or something like that. You're going to receive some sort of news from a woman, okay? Heads up, you're going to get some news from a woman, all right? For some of you, it's going to be some sort of difficult news. Not sure what about, but I do see that. News of change, news about moving, okay? These are indicators of what this is. I also see getting into like that whole mountain situation, all right? Keep saying it. Slow progress is better than no progress, okay? Some of your dreams are blocked, especially because it's right here on top of this woman. This woman's dreams are blocked, okay? That could be metaphorically or realistically. Like you can't dream. You can't sleep, you can't remember your dreams, whatever, okay? But for some of you, it's like more so like the things that you want to accomplish right now is not being accomplished because you feel that your dreams are blocked. Whatever that vision, that goal for you is as a dream, it's blocked. Okay. Let's get into this snake situation because the snake came out twice. And sometimes we don't like the snake, right? So remember, we talked about like that contract that you signed or whatever, right? Um, they're kind of like letting you know what this could be. Like some of you guys already know what I'm talking about, right? But some of you guys may need like a refresher. Um, it could have caused some sort of fights. Again, double confirmation on the abuse, all right? Fights. It could have been an injury to your, let's say, credit score. It could have been an injury to your finances. It could have been there could have been an actual physical injury. I mean, like it just depends on your specific situation, right? Um, you could have just faced a whole bunch of bad news back to back to back to back because of that said contract that you signed, right? Um, this is another indicator that, like, you guys, again, double confirmation, you will get some sort of message from a woman, all right? I'm not sure if this has anything to do with this specific message or if just is just an additional message on top of this one, right? Um, the last message before I break off with you guys, because I have to wrap this up, um, has to do with the heart and the bear, okay? Jealousy is real, all right? Be careful with the partner that you choose romantically, because you don't want an overbearing partner, okay? The other thing here is you should be shooting for a protective lover, a protective romantic connection versus someone that can be obsessive or infatuated with you. Those are high risks of red flags. And your spiritual team is saying that you should be searching for a wealthy or wealthier partner. And I'm going to leave it at that. Peace.